This is the Laugh at Everything podcast. Not sure what number we're up to now because I haven't uploaded a few of our last ones.
Oh man!
I think this is
I don't
12,
even guess. Yeah, I couldn't even.
13. Yeah, because I don't think I've gotten up to 10 yet on my files on my computer. So,
So there we go. That's the answer.
I think this is 12.
Yeah.
If it's not, welcome to podcast. Insert number here. You've got Josh and
Yeah. Hi.
Wes, and we're going to talk about some stuff. So right before we started the podcast, Josh was saying how he was very excited to find out how this podcast could ruin our lives in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, my first thought was, when one of us is running for president, you're going to have a podcast. You did this podcast in 2018, 2019.
Cancel culture.
And then the immediate thought that I had was, wow, I'm shooting really high. Like I'm gonna go president or something. I have no want to go and be in office at the moment.
Honestly, I don't think that
It's like if I go teach at some kindergarten or something, they find this and they're like, sorry, we don't want you teaching kids. Please leave. It's like,
yeah.
I wonder what the smallest thing is I will get denied for having this podcast.
That level.
Yeah.
A management position at our current working establishment.
Right. Not even a management, just we just don't we just want to invite you to no longer work here.
Yeah. We will invite you to leave.
Oh man.
For that.
So
Wes, you said that you had a whole bunch of stuff.
I've got a slew of things. I've just been
jump on in.
a little podcast topic machine.
Love it, dude. I love it.
They pop in my head and I'm like, wow, this is the dumbest thing I've ever thought.
Let's talk about it.
Write it down.
Yeah.
First thing I want to talk about is some Smashes.
Okay.
Smash Ultimate for the Switch.
Ultimate.
It's really fun. It's really good. Watching like guides and stuff, it's insane what these people can pull off, and I think their thumbs work different than my thumbs.
I mean, it seems like I am just not gifted.
Yeah, no, the fact that they're able to like dance in midair and hit all these things and do all these things, and the combos they're able to pull off. I'm like, I successfully chained 2 attacks together. Yeah, go me.
Yeah.
And like they're jumping off the edge and like doing all this crazy stuff, and I just can't do it. But I've been playing a lot of it more recently, and I recently played against my brother and his wife, and so they don't have a Switch. They don't get to play it except for when I bring mine over.
Right.
So they don't have the chance to practice, we'll say, as much as I do, which I don't really play that much. During the week, normally we get together once a week with a few people from work and play a little bit or whatever. And anyway, so they'll play on a team versus me, so it's 2v1.
Okay.
And his wife I don't want to say she's new to video games. She's played them, but she's just not super invested in them, and that's totally fine. But so when she'll just pick a random character and just kind of do random button presses, which is it's fun.
Yeah, every now and again you just see her fly off the screen.
Yeah, sometimes. Actually, sometimes she does quite a bit of damage because she'll get into a pattern of just like hitting the same moves over and over and just constantly, like she was playing
cheese.
She was playing Fox, and she was just shooting me from far away. And it's not like it would do a lot of damage, but it adds up a lot, and then it interrupts my combos and stuff.
Yeah, and you're conscious about it. You're like, shit.
Right. So I'm trying to get away from her, spinning her moves, and my brother plays Lil Mac, and he's just insanely fast.
Yeah, he is.
And
he's a speedy boy.
Yeah, a lot of his moves have armor on them or whatever, so you have to like hit them really hard. You can't just.
Yep.
You can't just love tap, you gotta
really smash.
You gotta smash him. So it's a really potent combination. I think playing against them was a lot of fun. They beat me, I think, every time but once. But
it's phenomenal.
My family noticed something and pointed it out to me while we were playing, is that I will, when I'm getting into it, and there's one game I was getting really into it, I was playing, and I was sitting on the couch, I was barefoot. I had my feet together, so my feet are like in a nice little cone shape, kind of towards each other, and we took video, or my grandmother took video of it without my knowledge, which is rape. Thanks a lot.
That's the stretch.
I did not consent to this, but it's funny, so I'm gonna allow it. Okay, I don't consent. I don't think Ray consent.
I think everyone knows. Yeah.
Just for the record, for whenever this podcast is being
Back to our first point.
yeah. So, when I'm like getting really into it, and I'm like doing super big button mashes or whatever with my thumbs,
You clinch?
my toes will play along with me.
Oh, that's funny.
Like whenever my thumbs move, my big toes move.
That is hilarious.
And you can like hear it in the video because the joystick will go clack, you know,
your
whatever.
feet will be like...
And at the very same time, my thumb is like moving in that same direction, and like all my other toes are doing this, like wiggling. You can't see it on the podcast because we're not video.
Yeah.
But just pretend that my toes are wiggling.
Yeah,
to
precisely.
the button press. Imagine I've got an invisible Switch controller.
Laugh at everything animated, dude. It's good on it.
I've got like these gross monkey feet playing an invisible Smash controller while I play, and it's really disturbing to watch on the video, but it's the funniest thing ever. We laughed for a good 30 minutes on that. So
Great,
it's so
dude.
into it. My brother's like, "Wow, you're 1v2ing us. You could be 2v2ing us." And I was like, "I don't think so."
Your brain's just so connected and into it, and like...
Yeah, I didn't even realize I was doing
Yeah.
it, which is so weird because hands and feet. I guess they're similar, but
they're not, like you
but
walk
why-
and move your
right.
hands. Yeah.
It's like two different things. So I guess it's just that monkey part of my brain coming
That's
out where
hilarious, dude.
they use their feet for a lot of things.
That's high quality. Dude.
And I'm just over here like I'm really into it. I think someone should do a study. If that has any correlation.
Hey, you say someone, I say you.
Hey,
Get started, dog.
Someone
You can be-
smarter.
Oh, sorry, that was loud, but I'll do it again. You can be patient zero.
God dang it! No, that would be interesting. I think I'll stick to my field of being somewhat funny for a podcast, and hope somebody else does it.
Hey,
Hey,
so what's the? What
So-
do we got? What else?
that was one thing. I mean,
Now, that's phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
I am actually.
it's
I don't want to see because we talked about
yeah,
this.
we have video proof. It's my feet are gross. I'm just gonna point that out. Josh is not.
Well, I think personally that all feet are not cute. Not all feet.
See, I can't.
Actually, your feet. Whoever's listening,
Yeah.
your feet suck.
No. Wow. I thought you were going somewhere different.
No,
We love all of your feet. Please send us pictures. No, don't.
No,
That'll be
please
bad.
don't. No.
All one of our listeners, Dan.
Dan, let me see them feet.
How them feet look?
No.
No, kidding.
No, but I don't know. I just don't. I ain't really particularly. I'm not really.
So I think you haven't found the right feet because not well taken.
In before you tell me that you have a foot fetish.
No. And if you do, I don't get that, but
That's
some
whatever,
people
yeah,
do.
some-
Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
As long as it doesn't affect me,
Two adults. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. Right? Yeah. No, Wendy has really cute feet to me, and she will be like, "No, don't look at my feet. You're weird." And I'm like, "I will eat them."
But they're adorable.
Right.
That's funny.
Wendy is, a strange bird. She's a lot of weird. I guess a lot of women are self-conscious about things, but I'm like, no, you're like, you're like totes adorbs. I just can't.
I mean, I
enough
feel like
of
people are
people's
just
feetsies.
always we're that way to each other.
Yeah. As both Josh and I take a swig of water at the exact same time, so we have dead air.
Oh man.
You're welcome, listeners.
But
Flashbacks of our first podcast where we're just banging on the table
oh
over
yeah,
and over again.
and I hope that happens.
Hey, if you listen to that first podcast, we are so
I'm
sorry.
So sorry, and I can't apologize more than I already have. But I'm sorry still.
Yeah. I've been told I have a very unique voice.
Yeah.
And so Wendy, she's obliged to tell me this because I paid $27.50 to marry her. That's how much the marriage license costs.
Yeah.
And she'll swear up and down all day that she paid it, but I did.
Yeah. Nice.
Even though she had a job at the time, I asked my mom for the money, so it was great.
No, yeah, it's good. High quality.
Yeah, she'll. I forgot what I was talking about. That's so embarrassing.
Did you really?
We're gonna edit this out. What was I saying?
We're not gonna edit anything out. You know that.
Yeah, the reason we don't edit is because I'm lazy. It's just that's a lot. It's a
You
lot
said
of
that
stuff.
Wendy's obliged to tell you.
Oh yeah, that I have a very unique voice. But my mom said that as well. And while I trust her a little bit less than Wendy, it's two people now that are saying, "Yeah, you got a really unique voice," and I tend to agree with them, but unique doesn't mean good.
Yeah, well, no, okay, so
Because I'll listen back and be like, "Oh God, that's what."
I'll
that sounds
third
like.
it and I'll even expand on it. You just have
No.
like a, I don't know, a soft, like a
Oh, I
a
love
very like some voices are hard and piercing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, does that you can imagine that like that kind of
that. Like
voice?
a Gollum type. What's like? It's nice to hit pockets.
Not even the S's like piercing. I'd say like more of a Tom Hiddleston voice, right? Has like
Oh,
a
you
very
don't like Tom Hiddleston's voice?
no, I like it. I'm just saying that it has a very piercing voice. You know,
I would
like a
say
very like I don't know. I can't describe it. Like a Fran Drescher. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, so Fran
Piercing.
is got that
annoying,
go kill
piercing
myself
voice.
I wouldn't say that Tom Hiddleston has a voice like
Well,
that.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's like there's obviously a scale. But I feel like yours is more, instead of the piercing, it's like more of a soft caress
See,
of a voice.
I wish I had that real smooth voice like Morgan Freeman. But I feel like everybody wants Morgan Freeman's voice, you know.
I feel like we're so like subjective to our voices because we hear more bass. Like,
Yeah.
I hear more bass.
Yeah, I hear a lot more bass than what comes out on the mic, and that's really sad because I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a decent voice, and then I hear it, I'm like, it's really bad.
Yeah, my voice is. I've always known that my voice is higher, and I've always.
See,
gotten
I've
the
always
comment.
thought that your voice is not high. I feel like you have more of a not like a gravelly voice, but like a, kind of a.
I've been told that it's soulful.
So yeah, very
Whatever
soulful.
that
I would
means,
say.
I really don't.
You have a lot of soul. You must sneeze a lot.
Bless your soul.
Back to that. We'll upload it soon. Trademark.
Trademark on what?
Soon.
But I mean, I feel like in instances my voice is very
Feminine and forward and ladylike.
but then it's also
As long as
all
you're-
right. Like I'll do that. And,
As long as you're a proper lady, you know.
all right. Yeah.
Speaking of, that reminds me. So I guess they had like the 80th anniversary or something of Gone with the Wind.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say International Women's Day was on March 8th.
Oh yeah, that too. I forgot about that. I slapped my dishwasher on the behind and said, "Hey, good job."
You are the worst.
I'm totally kidding.
You are so ridiculous.
If anything, I wore a dress and heels, and I cooked dinner for Wendy and stuff.
There you go.
And
treat her like she deserves.
yeah, no, that was just a normal Wednesday for us.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I wore a really pretty wig. No, I tease. I've done it before. I think I talked about that on the podcast,
think you
actually.
did.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was fun. I would never do it again. I totally commend women for wearing makeup because that shit sucks.
I feel like I'd enjoy it.
It the first 30 minutes I think is okay, and if it's not hot for sure, I think
Yeah.
it'd be fun. But I was working in like a hot oil environment and like running around, and I was sweating and stuff.
All that
and-
butter.
Ooh, I felt like I had blood on my face. And all that damn hair, man. Like I recently got my hair cut, as you can tell, which our podcast listeners can't. It's buzzed. It's like an inch and a half long now, so
It
it's
looks nice. Looks good.
Hey, thanks. You look nice. You look good.
Well,
and
thank you.
listeners, even though we can't see you, I'm sure you look nice as well.
I'm sure you look good.
Send us pictures. Oh no, wait.
Please
Of your feet. No.
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 No, so anyway, yeah, I've had this I've had people tell me that my voice is unique or whatever, but it's so cringy to hear myself talk on the podcast. So if I go down deep low, just know that I'm just trying to improve my voice quality a
Yeah,
little bit.
of course. Yeah, I feel like I'm more comfortable with my singing voice than I am my talking voice.
Oh, really? So
Because I hear recordings of me all the time.
Yeah, I am the complete opposite. I will only sing if no one's recording. But I sing around people because I just
Yeah,
I don't care.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's not that I choose to do it; it just kind of happens. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
So, like we've mentioned, I've got a bunch of things that I kind of want to talk about.
Yes.
One of them that I jotted down, I noticed that some lady in China, I think now, is the oldest one in the world at 116, which
Do you
is...
have bounded feet? Bounded feet?
Oh, I have no idea.
Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
No, just the oldest person in the world.
Oh, okay.
And it looked like, in the picture that I saw, that they gave her a certificate, and I just had the most morbid thought. I was like, that's the worst thing. Like, to have the oldest person in the world award, how long are you really going to have that?
I know. I didn't think about that, but that's pretty
That's
sad.
like the most depressing thought when they just And you open your door and someone's there and like, congratulations, you're the oldest person in the world now. You're like, fuck,
Oh my god.
I'm next.
Oh no. It is kind of rough though, because you're thinking like, oh, that means that someone else had to die
Yeah, it's
for
like,
me to get this.
and if you know each other, like, which one of my friends was
yikes.
this?
Oh,
Which is so
man.
sad. But it's just like, do they even why bother going through the whole
Yeah.
printing out of it? Is it like a certificate that's personalized, or is it just something that they take from them after about a week and give it to someone else?
Stop.
I'm just curious here.
That's a shame.
I felt so terrible, but also I'd
it's-
feel so terrible if they gave me the award. I'd like write it in my will. I was like, no one else gets this award. You have to print off another one. It's mine. I was it. You know.
I'm sure they give off new ones.
That's just a lot of wasted paper. I don't want to say wasted. That's so insensitive.
That's exactly.
That's a lot of used paper. We'll say. If you've won, one of the oldest people living awards,
They would not.
and you're listening,
Be listening.
please let me. Please accept my most sincerest apologies.
And I will preemptively apologize for this chair move.
Oh, my precious audio
I'm
quality.
so sorry.
I think Josh just tooted.
Yeah, dude, it was
You ever done that in the office? Not that I have. That would be a
Office?
really good.
in the office.
Yeah, like a really good cover, with one of those chairs. I guess it doesn't work because we have a lot of rolling chairs.
Yeah. I mean, I've never. Honestly, I don't even know if I've actually farted in this office.
Yeah, definitely not around people. I'll go to like a bathroom or something, and
Right. Yeah. Okay. I guess.
most of the time, what happens is we work in the tech industry, and there's stereotypically a lot of male people in this industry, a lot more than female, I think.
Yeah.
And we only have a certain number, like a limited number of bathrooms available. And at any given point during the day, those are basically occupied. And there's only one stall in each of them, so it's kind of bad. One pooper stall and one urinal stall, we'll say. I don't know what
makes sense,
What's
yeah.
the official name for the pooper stall? Like a toilet?
Yeah,
guess?
like urinal and then stall.
Yeah, okay. So we only have one of those, and 99% of the time it's occupied when we need to go.
D9.
Yeah, 9. So it's really good to just go in there and just let one rip, and then you can hear the guy that's pooping go, "Oh my god!" And I just say to him, "Like, yep, people are gonna blame me for that. Have fun."
Yikes.
I'm
Enjoy.
pretty notorious for, especially depending on what I've eaten. Some noxious stuff comes out.
Noxious.
Nauseous. So yeah, I'll just go in and dump that in the bathroom, and
Yeah, I have walking into
somebody
a
will
bathroom.
come in like 30 seconds later and go, "Oh my god, the smell!" I go, "Yeah, I can't believe this guy."
I have walking in. I've walked into a bathroom that was like previously blown up, basically. And like you just sit there for a second, you're like, you know what? There are other bathrooms, so you just walk out.
Well, it's
Not
it's
even
really
to pee.
interesting to think what a smell is.
That's why I leave.
That's
I'm not trying to just
Smells are actually
voluntarily
things,
Inhale these poop particles
right.
all in my nostrils.
This is actual physical poop particles in your nose that you're smelling.
Yeah, so I refuse to.
That's actually an interesting thought. So I'm a bit overweight, and by a bit I mean a lot of it.
Concrete dust is heavier.
Yeah. Anyway, wait, what? What does that mean?
Concrete dust is heavier.
Are you saying that you're gonna make me go?
No, just think
fishes?
about like how poop particles can be so small, but they do actually float into the air and into your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
So, my mom used to joke that we had such, not good genes as far as weight management stuff, that we could smell food and gain weight. And now there might be something to this.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. I just think it'd be interesting to see if, you could actually alter your caloric intake from just smelling food.
That'd be so.
It's the new way to eat.
That'd be. I enjoy my taste buds for what they are. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Taste buds are
But-
really good.
I mean, I feel like that'd be such a small change that it really wouldn't.
So,
It really wouldn't make a fuck.
speaking of taste buds, it's kind of hitting on something else I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
What does so there's certain alcoholic beverages that you add in like a fruit or an olive, like martinis or whatever have olives.
Yeah, like I think of like a Bloody Mary.
What does the Bloody Mary have in it? I know it's tomato juice.
I mean, there's olives. You can put like celery. You can put green beans. You can put.
I feel like a Bloody Mary is just a really terrible version of a V8.
I actually enjoy them.
Like I feel like this vegan came up and is like, I want my V8, but I want to be drunk too.
No, it's actually.
I'll just combine them.
It's actually just a spicy alcoholic drink.
That's a spicy alcoholic
It's
beverage.
like I enjoy them. Like it depends on from where, obviously, because
Yeah.
sometimes they're awful. But a lot of like there's this new Mexican restaurant back home, and it has a great, phenomenal Bloody Mary that my stepmom got, and she was like sipping on it. She's like, damn. And so, just like I don't know, just let me taste.
I'm not a big fan of like tomato juice. I am a big fan of like fruity beverages, especially fruity
same.
frozen ones.
I don't like beer. I like more of like a taste beverage.
Right, yeah. And I'm so unashamed about it. You know, I'll go to the biggest. Well, I wouldn't, but if there's like a biker gang, I walked into a bar or whatever, and I was drinking at, and they're like, "You got a
fruity drink."
Yeah, I don't know I don't know the names of them. You know, and started calling me names, and be like, "Yeah."
I drink Shirley Temple's nonstop. No, I'm joking.
What's the Shirley Temple?
I don't even know what it is actually.
We like pina coladas. Me and Wendy.
I get at home. The thing to get is like just a daiquiri,
Yeah.
and there's this one at home local called Hypnotic, and it's
See, I had a margarita
So
recently, and I
good.
hated the salt ring. I wanted it to be like a sugar ring.
oh
Is that bad? Yeah.
I enjoy a blue margarita a lot more than regular, but I do enjoy regular margarita.
So this brings me up.
I am not 21. so-
Are you not?
No.
Oh my god, you're a child.
Yeah.
I'm that much older than you, really?
Yeah.
Josh officially does not drink without parent permission.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
For the FBI people listening who really care about underage drinking.
Hey.
Look, I think you could go sign up and, you know, go
I
kill
usually
people
drink at
for our
home.
country. I think it's okay.
I mean, I usually drink at home with my family.
You talk about how crazy that is?
Not too bad, huh?
That the government says, no, you're not legally allowed to intoxicate somebody, to be intoxicated, but you're allowed to bring life into the world.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting because there's like that standpoint that the brain's undeveloped enough, which also correlates to the newest Lower the Voting Age Act.
To what,
Yeah.
18?
To
Or
16.
16, really?
And like it's either the brain's developed enough to be able to buy whatever the fuck you want, or it's not developed enough to be able to buy whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And for the same thing, either it's developed enough to know the political system enough to be able to vote and make a real impact. Like this is a whole generation of kids that will be able to vote now.
Yeah.
Or they don't. Like which one?
Well,
You
so
know, choose.
I feel
Choose
like,
one.
speaking of that, and I'll get back to the beer thing in just a second. I feel like a significant portion of the populace that's already allowed to vote is not using those beautiful brains of theirs enough. I feel like, you know, they're kind of swept up in lies and deception. And I'm not going to say that I have been, because I really just don't follow politics. It's kind of, I get that for some people it's enthralling and they want to know what's going on, and it depresses me really to think
that
about
was-
it,
that
because
was
I'm so cynical.
That was half of the reason why I didn't participate in the last election.
Yeah, I'm going to the next one for sure. Because
I don't even want to say that because I really don't know who's going to be against him. So
I have some pretty good ideas. I have been trying to pay attention a lot more to it.
I mean, exactly, and I just want to see how it goes, you know. And man, that last election was so sad. I was so sad that was my first one.
Yeah.
I was like, I've given up on this election
I think
entirely.
my first was in for 2012 for Obama.
Yeah,
So I didn't vote for that one. I didn't vote in that one either.
yeah.
I'm a terrible, terrible person, I guess.
You're stepping on all
Well,
of
it's
our
like-
rights.
You know, there's a conscientious objector status, I guess, for voting. If I could vote to like abstain because I don't want either choice, it's like, you know, I think that should be a fair option too. But yeah, getting back to this this beer topic about putting things in. So I was watching TV the other day, and there's a Corona ad that came on. I don't know if you're familiar with Corona ads, but the announcer's like, every time your work friends and your friends' friends become friends, a Corona gets its lime. And like they'll take their thumb and they like push a little lime wedge down the Corona, and I was like, that's a brilliant marketing strategy. And they're not even trying to sell Coronas.
Yeah.
Coronas are just a lie. They're a front by Big Fruit to sell more limes.
They're a front by Big Fruit.
I'm onto you, Big Fruit. You're trying to sell more limes by selling Coronas.
I'll say the one beer that I will tolerate. I'll tolerate a Blue Moon with an orange or a Corona with a lime because they're really good. Like
See,
that.
they caught you.
Big Fruit, dude, it's over.
You had to buy a lime. So the thing is, if you don't drink beer very often, or if you don't drink a Corona very often, we'll say, you have a plethora of options available, and you want this in your home, you buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack or whatever of Coronas, whatever they come in, I don't know. And you'll buy a lime. Because in your mind, you're like, oh yeah, I can totally get multiple lime wedges out of this single lime. But if you only have like one a week, you're gonna want your lime. So you cut a wedge into that lime, and you stick it in your Corona, and you enjoy that bad boy. And a week later, you want another one, so you go and you get your lime, and it's all moldy and shitty and gross, and you're like, damn it, now I gotta buy another lime. So you gotta go out and get another lime.
I feel like the hole in your story is that no one's gonna drink just one beer because they love it. Like, that's not really the whole shtick.
So someone who didn't drink beer, that's a good point. I didn't consider that.
That's funny.
In my mind, I'm like, who would drink this shitty substance?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
It just tastes terrible.
I like wine more than beer.
But no, I do think that's legit, that anything that was added into a beverage has been actually manipulated by whoever owns the thing that goes in that beverage.
Yeah, it makes me think of like common things that we put together, like s'mores, like graham crackers.
Yeah, it's like they're all
Hershey's,
the same company, you know.
and marshmallows. Yeah.
Which is actually really funny because I read somewhere that the graham cracker was actually invented by like a Quaker man who decided that your nutrients should come from something, like you shouldn't get any enjoyment out of eating what you're eating. So your nutrients should come out of the most blandest.
To like
cracker.
naturally train you to not even worry about the taste?
Well, yeah, like that's what they would like. Apparently, they would just eat that, and it would be
okay
because they don't want to enjoy what they're eating because they thought that the only pleasure you should receive is from the Lord. So.
Oh wait, okay, no, I get where this track is. Yeah.
No,
I know what you're
just
saying.
a little weird.
I mean, there are legitimate. That's a thought process. It's I was watching a show called Merle.
Merle? Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. And they go over this psychology.
Ooh.
Like I want to say tree, but it's not. It's just like a one specific group of thinkers that thought this way, that
like a branch of psychology.
you should have no pleasure in life,
Okay.
and you should like literally do nothing but worship.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess
wow.
it stems from that.
So it's actually interesting that you say that because I feel like we're in that same line of work, except instead of worship, all we do is work. You will have no pleasure in life except for work. You are destined to do DevOps forever.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I do understand.
No, you gotta take pleasures, in our line of work where you can, because some days are bad.
Yeah, and that's so ingrained in our like society is to enjoy your pleasure, you know.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's insane, really, and I feel like there's a lot of rules that kind of go into that, like, one of those is like adult relationships. That's obviously a very pleasurable thing for humans to experience, and while that can obviously cause some problems, I feel like cutting it out of your life completely is just only going to cause problems.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
but there are still celibates who do just fine.
Right, and I understand that, but I feel like those are the minority.
Outliers. Yeah.
Right. And so it says in the Bible that, you should be celibate, but if you can't, marry. And I feel like having, Catholic priests and stuff like this or just any denomination of religious leader be forced into celibacy, I think is a really bad idea, and I think it definitely causes the issues that we're seeing.
Yeah, I was
No.
gonna bring that up right quick.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, go ahead and try. You know that's great, but it is so humanly
Go ahead and try
unnatural.
celibacy.
Right,
Okay.
and then if you know it's not going to work, get married, just like the Bible says. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to follow that, then follow that. I just feel like certain religions take that and they go, oh, the Bible says to be celibate, so we're gonna. And that's the end of the story. And it's like, no, that's not working. You need to do something different with your religion.
Maybe rethink. I don't know. It's interesting. It is interesting. And I want to say, going back to the companies that work together and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
That's
a weird tangent, but yeah.
We always do this. We always tangent on.
I still can't remember what we were talking about. I need to go back and listen to that podcast that Wendy was talking
that's
about
funny,
that
yeah.
we never
Yeah,
answered.
Me too. There's so many companies that we don't even realize do this. Like Gain and Tide together, they're the same company,
Yeah.
and they just
It's like they create pseudo competitions so that you're like, oh yeah, I've got this choice.
yeah, like there's some companies that say like, look, let's stick together. Hershey's marshmallows, graham crackers, like let's do it together. But there are other companies like, let's create our competition.
Yeah.
And they do that, you know.
I feel like that's a really good strategy, but also it's risky, risky business. And then you just got companies like Reese's that are just like, we're not letting anybody touch our chocolate or our peanut butter. Suck it, people. And also enjoy a Reese's.
Yeah,
Reese's
actually,
are good.
I have a whole pack of Reese's eggs just waiting to be.
And that's the thing. So like, I'm trying to do the lower carb diet or whatever, and on that diet, there's basically a replacement for everything if you so desire.
Yeah.
Or almost everything, and they taste fairly similar enough that it'll hit some of those cravings.
hit that.
What I have not found yet is a good
replacement.
low carb peanut butter chocolate combination.
Yeah.
The best one I can find is one that's the most trouble, and it's like a peanut butter fat bomb or whatever, where it's like peanut butter and cream cheese, and then you put it in like a Reese's cup type thing, and you freeze them or whatever, refrigerate them. That's the closest, and that's only because the peanut butter that I use and the chocolate that I use have a really good, they do well together. Whereas, like I've tried some sugar-free chocolates that are
It ain't hitting.
I've actually got some in my desk drawer that I just can't eat because they're just gross. It's terrible.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I think we should change things about society that we don't like. And I want to bring this up. So I recently got a haircut yesterday,
Right.
and I was at the haircutting place just because.
Barbershop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I go to Supercuts.
Okay.
They
I go to
do-
salons.
I do like a $7. They charge like $7 for a buzz. So I'm like,
Not bad.
heck yeah, because any other place is going to charge $15, which is ridiculous because
They're literally just running a razor.
right, it takes maybe 3 minutes, and that's an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I think I timed it out at like maybe 3 minutes and 37 seconds or something,
Right.
which is just craziness from when we actually started to when we actually finished. And my hair just looks like it, I guess, but it looks nice. Anyway, so I had to wait like 45 minutes for it, which I don't mind because it's cheap and they do a really good job. They had Night at the Museum playing in their little lobby thing.
Okay.
And I was okay with it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. But then some asshole's sitting there on his phone with Blue Bloods blaring.
Oh no.
So he's got full volume on his Blue Bloods episodes. And you want to watch that in public, that's fine. But thanks, you ruined Blue Bloods for me. Now I can't.
You can't watch it.
I already know what's going to happen thanks to you, jerk.
Wow.
Where's your freaking headphones? God dang it. And so he was sitting there, and then the guy that's sitting next to me decided he was going to watch YouTube or something, so he starts playing his YouTube full speed. I'm like, great, now I can't enjoy Night at the Museum, assholes. Thanks a lot.
So is your change to society that everyone will wear their own headphones?
Yeah, just wear your headphones. It's not difficult. You can go buy cheap headphones that's going to be better audio quality for you personally than trying to fight with other audios in the room. And also, you're going to not be an asshole to other people.
Yeah.
And, that's just if you just cannot live without your Blue Bloods, like this guy obviously could not.
Your Blue Blood.
I'm so mad.
I feel like I can see both sides because sometimes I will hear a song
from someone playing it and just walking on campus.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, damn. And I'll find that song. And then I'll get that song and I'll listen to it.
So my brother recently played a joke on us. He hooked up his smartphone or whatever to mirror onto the TV that we were watching. And so it overwrote the controls, and he started playing a song. It was obviously a joke song, but it was about this is a bad word coming up, so cover your ears if you're. It's about horsecock.
Said like, oh yeah.
It's a song about horsecock or whatever. It's just real. It was a funny song.
Yeah.
But if I started blaring that, or if I wanted to play a certain song by Blink-182 about having relations with a dog, I could, you know. And
I mean,
it's like, you want to listen to that, I get that, you know, you do you. But now other people are having to listen to that too, and I am not caught up in that season to Blue Bloods, and I'm really pissed that you've spoiled these things now for me. It's like if somebody was blaring Game of Thrones season 8.
Season 8 final episode.
Right.
I'd probably
On
fight
the phone,
someone, dude.
like,
I'm
the
not
week
even
it comes
joking.
out. Like, how mad are you going to be? And obviously, I don't know if Blue Bloods is still running, and I'm not actually watching it. But if I were, I'd be pissed.
Sorry for that noise.
No, it's okay. It's your water bottle. You got to stay hydrated. It's important to stay hydrated. It's very good.
Hydrate. Appreciate.
So while I was watching TV with my family, basically, we were watching Futurama, and Futurama is one of my most favorite shows of all time. I love Matt Groening and I think it's David Cohen, something like that. I think that's who they are. They are the minds of The Simpsons as well.
Right.
And then also they got that new show, Disenchantment, on Netflix, which a lot of
I haven't
people
seen it yet.
don't like, but I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal.
I haven't seen it yet.
I've probably watched it 5 or 6 times through, and just if I'm bored, I'll just put it on. You know, it's nice and
Nice.
it's like Futurama, and I'm planning on getting the entire collection of Futurama pretty soon. Anyway, so we were watching Futurama at the house, and they were. So whenever I come over and I visit, they just kind of allow me. They watch whatever I watch, basically, just because they're hanging out with me. So it's nice. Unless they want to watch them, you know, I'll let them.
Yeah.
Let them.
Right. No. But if they're like, oh yeah, I want to watch, you know, House Hunters International, or whatever, I don't care.
Whatever.
Yeah. So I just basically turned on the TV and I found Futurama, and it was an episode about the Olympics.
Okay.
And in this episode, Bender starts competing in the female robots. Bender's, for those of you who don't know, is a supposed male robot in this Futurama universe. So he starts competing in the female robotic Olympics until after he wins a bunch, they decide to do a robot sex verification test or whatever.
Okay.
And so he gets a robot sex change.
Okay.
And so we go through this entire episode, and after a while I look over and I look at certain members of my family and I go, are you not enjoying this at all? And they're just like, I just, you know, so far it's not funny. They're like, I don't enjoy The Simpsons. I go, well, this is Futurama, it's different. But it's made by the same people, so
Right.
What's the problem? They're just like, I just don't think it's that funny. I was like, it's a robot getting a sex change. What's not funny about this? It's this, you know, it's a metal thing that simulates life and personality. It doesn't have a sex.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, I just, the robot should stay the gender that their blueprints specified. Oh, God. You just unscrew one thing and screw something else in, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom, right? And it just made me really laugh.
Yeah, that whole situation is phenomenal.
And I don't want to mention anybody's names because I love my family.
Yeah,
and
of course.
You know, God bless their hearts. They do try.
God bless their hearts. No, but I mean, I'm like that too. Like, I have just, I don't know, a couple family members that like just don't really find those shows funny, or like to go so far as to be ignorant, intentionally ignorant about them,
Right.
Or about the subjects and about the satire.
That's one thing I really enjoy about Futurama is how satirical it is and how it like is so good at making fun of our current day problems.
I really enjoy how South Park does it.
South Park, I think, does a good job. I think South Park takes it a little too far sometimes.
I agree, which is so necessary sometimes.
Right. It's like I see a caption about some comments that Bill Burr made against the Catholic Church. And he's in this interview, and they're like, Bill, don't you think that you might have taken it a little bit too far about your jokes on the Catholic Church? And he's like, don't you think the Catholic Church took it a little too far? And it's like, hey, he's got a point.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to joke about pedophiles if they didn't exist.
Right, exactly. The joke shouldn't even exist because in the material shouldn't exist, you know?
Really, so that's bringing up an interesting thought in my mind about jokes and the nature of jokes. And I think we've talked about this in the podcast that really nothing's off limits here. We talk about anything and everything we want to with really no regard to what any of you people think, except for please like us, please.
Please.
We really hope. But no, like nothing's off limits. Everything can be joked about, and if it can't, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually agree with that, but I do understand that sentiment.
Really? So what are some things that you are just absolutely not okay with joking about?
Like shitty, like tone deaf, like Holocaust jokes or 9/11 jokes, or like where it's like mass death, or like I don't know. It's just,
why does that bother you?
It just sits wrong with me personally. And so, like, I just won't laugh at it, and I don't think it's okay. But that's fine. Like, I'm not asking for anyone to change because of me.
Right. No, so I just have a different way of thinking about it. It's a much more cynical way.
I bet you do.
And it's like what me and Wendy talked about on the previous podcast before. This is the one before last. About how we will encourage each other by saying that nothing we do matters because our sun will eventually burn out and nothing will be on this earth ever again.
It's all nothing that you do matters.
Right.
You know,
if I have people that are having problems in their life and they're like, you know, fighting things, I'll just set them down and like, hey, look, in 100 years,
whatever you decide doesn't give a
fuck. No one's gonna even remember that you existed.
Oh my God, that is ridiculous.
In 200 years, if anyone does remember that you existed, no one's gonna even remember that they existed. In 200 years,
right.
And in 500 years, we're probably all gonna be dead from global warming anyway. So,
Oh my God.
really, you know, nothing matters in the long run. In a couple of 100 billion years, our sun is going to expand and engulf the Earth. And a couple quintillion billion years after that, there will just be nothing, you know, in space, and it'll just be a giant void. So, you know, really just enjoy your time here while you're here, I guess.
Yeah.
You wanna joke about millions of people dying in the span of a few months, then.
Oh God, I don't know. For me personally, I don't like that.
What's odd to think about is there's, you know, 700,000 people that die a day just from, you know, death is just a thing that happens to us.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it's not happening to you, you might as well enjoy it for others, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's okay. The way you say enjoy makes me wonder what you mean.
It took us a while there. I was trying to spit it out.
I mean, you're supposed to celebrate death, sure.
See, I feel like that's the wrong term, too.
Maybe.
You get a death. You get a death. Everyone gets a death.
That's not celebrate. I feel like celebration should be like celebrate their life. You know?
Right, yeah, no, I totally agree. But, you know, time makes fools of us all. So, who cares? You know, live wild and free, and I just said do your best. And do your best for those around you so that their lives can be better too. I gotta be careful preaching that because the last people that preached those things, we shot them. You know, with, like Martin Luther King and JFK and Gandhi.
You're the next to be shot, though. It's over.
If I get a platform, I'll start saying, "Hey, we just," and that's you know really that's what I don't understand about humans, that we're just so quick to put each other down. You know?
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like we're so quick to just poop on things for no reason. You know, I feel like we're just so quick to say,
Yeah.
"I think you're wrong. And I think you're stupid."
There are a lot of people
That actually brings me up. I'm sorry, Dan.
No, that's a good segment, sure. But I'll just put this one comment: is that there are a lot of people that do that, but I feel like there are an equal amount of people that are supportive and kind. And
I feel like we're definitely improving, especially in the last 50 years or so. I feel like, mental health and just being there for people is improving a lot, and that's more realistic, and I like to think that way, at least. I don't know how it is actually, but
Right,
that's
of
how I
course,
think.
That's how I think too.
And the only thing that I think we see a lot of the bad just because that's kind of what's reported.
Yeah, it's the age of information. We know everything bad that ever happens,
Right.
basically.
Well, it's,
Well, not everything, but
it's
a
something
lot,
that
a lot more than we used to.
Winnie and I were talking about. We were talking about like our experiences going to like restaurants and stuff. And I was
So
like,
is that
no. That's
okay.
not what I was talking about. But this is along the same lines.
okay?
Like we were talking about how it's so much easier to remember the bad things than it is the good
Yes,
things. I was like,
precisely.
for example, I was like, right now, without thinking about it, tell me a place that we've had a good experience with wait staff and restaurants and stuff. And she goes, yep, I can't. I was like, okay. I was like, I know that we've had some because I remember telling you, wow, this was actually really nice. But I can't remember where they are or when. But then I'll say, okay, now tell me right off the top of your head, where have we had bad experiences? And she goes, oh, Applebee's, Chili's, El Toro. It's like, yeah, it's so much easier to remember the bad.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that just is apparent. I'm sorry.
As humans, yeah,
Yeah.
it's apparent. That's what we do. It parallels into the anonymous comments
Mm-hmm.
that are on every YouTube video, just shitting on the people that are creating. And these creators will see all these loving, amazing comments. See that one comment, like your nose looks like a pig nose, and that's all they have to see, and they will see themselves differently, likely, because it is a stranger who has no connections to them,
Yeah.
but has judged them so fiercely and so harshly.
Well, that's why I feel like we're so quick to just poop on other people's ideas, and so this is what I want to talk about next. Is that, let's see where it is. Oh, political parties, and so this is
Okay.
a touchy subject, but
I'm down.
I feel like nowadays, I feel like a third major political, an independent thing, because Wendy and I were talking about this as well, is that I'm registered independent.
Yes,
I was raised in a very Republican family, and I feel like that's a very stupid way to divide our nation.
It's
And-
like a two-party system.
well, I'm okay with a two-party system, I guess. In what I'm really trying to say is that, like, political parties. So think about sports teams,
Sure.
and how people get so like vehemently like fervent about. I don't even know
group
how to say
thing.
these
That's what it
words.
is.
Right.
Crowd
They're like,
mentality.
my group is better than yours because X and Y, and your group sucks because Y and Z, and our group is better and you guys suck. And that's fun for like sports and stuff, as long as you don't take it too far. And I've seen a lot of people take it really, really far.
course.
Like, I think we mentioned in the podcast earlier that we're sitting in a restaurant and these guys are just yelling about this sports team
Yeah.
hundreds of miles away that they have literally no connection over and no effect over. And they're yelling in a restaurant and affecting everybody else's visit.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck off,
That's
you
rough, yeah.
bastards. I don't know. I just think it's really easy to align yourself with one of those parties or a party, and to say, okay, these people are most closely associated with what I think, and I'm just going to stick with them no matter what. I feel like real change could happen if we come together and say, oh, hey, this is a good idea. And you, from a different viewpoint and a different culture, you have this good idea as well.
Yeah.
And then you, from a third system or a third party, you have this really good idea. Why can't we just take the best of all ideas, And obviously, I don't know how that would work with people
Well,
deciding.
I don't want to say contest, but I will bring up another point that I think about often, is that the mentality for groupthink is toxic and is awful. And that a lot of people do have that, I am a Republican or I am a Democrat, the rest is trash, They have that
Right.
mentality. The way that I look at it is that it is a spectrum from liberal to conservative, and you lie somewhere, Either it's more left-leaning, more liberal-leaning, more conservative-leaning, right dab in the middle, all the way to the right, all the way to the left, whatever, I think about it that way, so that I find myself to be independent in the middle, not like fully conforming, I want to say, to each side. And I feel like if more people would adopt that mentality, sure, that'd be great. But also, if more people would realize that the conception of this country came from people who thought widely differently together. Like people that thought the states should have votes based on, well, I want to say votes, but I feel like everyone will understand me if I say votes based on population, or based on like state size, or based on an equal amount each, and that's why they came together and made, you know, our system of the House and the Congress, and also our system of checks and balances. These have all been compromises, and that if we could look and reflect on like how our roots were made, and like the broad idea that the founding fathers had for everyone coming together and making a huge compromise, it'd be a lot better. And I feel like that thinking is on the same level of, instead of having this group think mentality about the party system, you would have a spectrum system where you say, I'm a liberal, you know, I'm super left-leaning liberal, or I'm more independent liberal, or I'm more I want to say central liberal. I don't really know what the term is actually for the middle.
I have no idea. Centricism, I think.
Maybe. But if it would be viewed as that mentality more, that'd be great. And another thing to think about too is that those in office really don't enforce that spectrum. They enforce the groupthink. They enforce Democrats do this, blah 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 blah, and Republicans did this, and that's a great idea. And it's like also on the other side, it's like you hear from the Democrats are sometimes, I wonder if they even say this. I feel like I've heard this before. Just talking about like basically our opposition on the other side of the aisle, or like our enemies on the other side of the aisle. It's like, what are you saying? Like, we are all one nation. Like, there's no opposition or enemies. It's just people that think differently. You know.
You know, like I said, I've been trying to get more into it, more knowledgeable. As I guess because I'm growing old. You know, I'm a quarter century. I'm basically I'm almost dead now.
We're so fucking old.
Yeah, you're not even old enough to drink. You're old enough to die for our country, though. So
I'm hitting the table. I'm so sorry.
How dare you? No,
How dare.
You know, coming into this, I feel like I'm walking into a open room, and there's two sides to this room with a third smaller side, you know, squandered away in the corner trying not to get hit. And I feel like both sides are literally just dropping their pants, pooping into their hands, and then just throwing it blindly at the other side of the room.
Right.
And I feel like that's both sides that's doing it. And so it's like, okay, you walk into this room and you're like, all right, which side do you want to join? It's like, what? No.
I feel like if you would look at just the media and like all the news outlets and you say, yeah, this is a pretty divided country. Sure, that makes sense. But if you like actually went and talked to people, you would realize that a lot of people have a more central, more towards the middle collective think than like the extremists.
Really?
Because the extremists are what get headlines. It's what get and these are the people who are going to say like, no, we can't just compromise. We need to get everything for us. We need to get it all our way. No other way. And left-leaning people or right-leaning people will say, yeah, I mean, our way is the best way. And they'll ignore the compromise.
Have you ever read 1984 by Orwell?
No.
So I think that in that book, basically, there's a totalitarian government, and it basically runs everything. And you know, you're not allowed to think anything except for what they want you to think, and you know, they basically tell you what to think and when to think it. And I just honestly, that sounds like a really good system. I think we should move to that, where no one has an opinion but the government. And
I'm sorry, that's ridiculous.
Like, they have microphones in your homes and stuff, and they monitor everything you say and do.
I can't tell if you're joking. That's the sad part.
Honestly, that sounds great. Let's just stop worrying about it and let the government take over.
I enjoy my...
What do you enjoy?
I had to burp. Jeez.
What do you enjoy?
I enjoy...
Sorry for yelling. I didn't mean to yell.
The huge line that just popped up on the sound.
I
enjoy my republic that we have. I enjoy the democratic republic that we have. Thoroughly.
I don't know if you caught what I just said. I'm glad that you enjoy it. I don't know if you caught what I said. Did you see that thing where R. Kelly is like blowing up in the interview?
Yes.
Just-
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's
I'm R. Kelly. No,
Dude,
that's terrible.
let's not even talk about that. Man.
So that's let's talk about this.
Oh, God.
At what point do we just say, okay, jail's not gonna fix you? Which, by the way, we have a for-profit jail system, so no one's really getting
The
rehabilitated.
amount of
there.
evidence that is against this man,
Like
the amount of witnesses and people that are like, no, he actually did this shit, and then he's just here like, y'all are ruining my life. Like, shut the fuck up. You
Like,
ruined your own life.
At
That's
what point
happened.
do we stop wasting the world's resources on this individual?
Wasting? I wouldn't say wasting. I feel like everyone gets their turn. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like he had his turn. He locked it in the closet.
I
Is that too far?
I don't. Yeah, I feel like
That's like-
Everyone has a right to.
It's like the Bill Cosby, and like I think we've talked about this before, but how much is he really even aware of now? And
Sure, but that doesn't.
I agree.
that's unfair to-
What life is not fair. What's unfair at this point is that we have to spend any more thought or resources on this person.
Yes, that's ridiculous.
Let's get rid of them.
Just because they're a shitty human doesn't mean that they aren't still a human who has rights in America.
I
I
don't know if I.
You better agree.
Oh, what motherfucker.
well, I mean, shit. Soon enough, they could come grab your rights.
Well, if I do something atrociously shitty that the rest of society.
Well, who's the judge for that?
Have you read?
Who's the judge for
This is
that?
going to be absolutely stupid. You've read I Am Legend?
No,
No? Okay, so do you know the premise of it?
I believe so.
Alright, I don't want to spoil this book for anybody, but I'm about to.
Spoiler
Spoiler alert! So basically, it's totally different than the movie that came out with Will Smith in 07 or
Okay.
08, somewhere around there. It's about a vampire takeover. Like, vampires basically exist, and when they bite you, you turn into a mindless vampire. So it's kind of like a zombies thing, but it was like written in the 50s or whatever. What ends up happening is that there's this one man alive who's not a vampire, and he's got all these like traps and stuff laid out. And during the day, he goes into vampires like lairs, and he just kills them, no mercy or whatever, just outright eats them. And it's because he's angry because they turned his wife into a vampire. Well, at the end of the book, you see his wife like meeting with him like in a field, and he's like, "I thought you were dead," and she's like, "No." She's like, "Actually, fun fact, I've been turned into a vampire, and we figured out a way to not need to survive on human blood anymore, and we actually figured out a way to stop being like mindless zombies or whatever. And we have a whole society. We basically restarted society, and everything's great, except for we have this legend
This crazy man going around
killing vampires
Yeah.
now, and we have to execute you. And so it's really, really sad, but just that whole thought of he has become the thing to someone else's society.
Right.
So they are the populace that I guess took over and decided, and in that particular case, he didn't know. He was just a monster to them, and he had no idea. But that didn't matter. The damage was done, and society decided, all right, you've got to die.
When you don't take time to get all the research and the evidence, and
Well,
just
I don't
really
even. There's
examine all the context.
See, that's
That'll happen.
a bad system or a bad thing because in the book there's no way for him to have known. In R. Kelly and the other guys,
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, yeah. In their situation, they know that what they're doing is bad. Those rules were in place long before they
Yeah.
decided to commit these
course.
acts. I think as a society, why are we wasting resources on them?
Because you have to, the way that our system is set up, not a new vampire society, but the way that ours is set up is that everyone has a right to a trial and a proper judgment among peers, not just,
No, right, yeah. But I'm saying with Bill Cosby, he's just sitting in jail.
Yeah.
That someone's paying for that. Someone's paying.
Well, the peers have decided that he should rot in jail. That's
So the best way, if I really just want to get out of work for free, you're telling me I just need to go create these massive atrocities, and I'll just be
you
I'll have
won't just be at home playing your Switch, Wes. You'll be in prison.
I'll get free room and board.
free room and
I'll
board
get all the workout time
with the
I
rest
need.
of the criminals who have also done shit.
I'll get all the. We'll say.
With all the ramen noodles you want, like what? You know?
Look, their meals are more nutritionally
Oh my
providing
God.
than our schools. The thing that's raising the newest generation
Yeah.
of children constantly.
Yeah.
These pseudo prisons. That's really what school is. It's pseudo prison.
It's not at all.
Oh, it so is, Josh.
Why are you this way?
Public schools are literal death.
I'm sorry, no.
Death of the imagination. There are a few shining knights among these schools as far as teachers that are actually trying to give a damn and make a difference.
Sure.
And I feel like their hands are tied, and also that this entire system that we've got currently is so... It's so bad, and it so desperately needs reform, but it's not going to happen because masses are easy to control when they're uneducated. So,
I would
life.
say that for sure, schools need work, right?
yeah.
But it's not like worse than prison. Come on.
Is it? I mean, I know violent things happen in prison.
Oh God.
All right, I'm going to say some inflammatory
Good,
stuff
good,
here.
dog.
You get free room and board. All right, you get free meals. You meet a lot of interesting people. You get a lot of workout time, so you can get buff. You can actually work on your degree in prison. In some prisons, like depending.
Because prison, the whole idea of prison is reform. That's what prisons are.
Right, reform, totally. And then all the gay
Yes.
sex you want. I mean,
All the gay
what-
sex you want.
What else do you need in life?
Shut up.
I could
There-
become somebody's baby daddy. You know,
Shut the fuck up.
I'd call somebody daddy.
The thing is that prison, when done correctly, is supposed to be about reform. Yeah.
And we are so not doing it correctly.
I agree. Private prisons are pretty awful.
So I want to get off on the subject. I want to talk about some things I saw on TV.
Okay.
Really, it's one thing. It's like a protein shake or a meal replacement
Like
shake.
muscle milk stuff, or like.
Yeah. So it's Boost.
Okay. Okay.
Which is just like a chocolate shake.
Yeah. No, my dad had to drink them for a bit.
This woman on this commercial, and I get it's a commercial. They're trying to show it off. This freaking woman takes her Boost out of it's a single use bottle. It's not meant for sharing.
She pours it into a glass.
She pours it into a freaking glass. And she drinks out of the glass. Just drink it out of the bottle, you wasteful bitch. Like, what is going on? This is so ridiculous. Why are you dirtying up a glass that's going to have to be cleaned by someone?
You wasteful bitch, she says.
That's going to come back to haunt me.
Well, it's like the same thing of like, why would you pour a Coke into a glass?
Why would you ever do that? Like, I get it if you've got like a 2 liter and you're pouring it into a glass because other people might drink out of that 2 liter. You're not going to drink out of the 2 liter like some freaking animal, like some gosh darn caveman over here. You know, you're a civilized human being. But a single use bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hitting my bottle against the table for emphasis here because it pisses me off, damn it. Why are you wasting this perfectly clean glass when you've got a single-use bottle to drink it out of?
I mean, that's the thing about us is that we are excess. Like, that's what we are, you know? Our whole existence.
It hurts.
So-
It hurts me to think about.
I mean, like at the dinner table, I'll pour a Coke out and just drink it through a glass.
Like, it hurts me to think about so many things that we do to waste.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned this before about like the freezer, about how we
Yeah.
freeze things. We utilize energy, you know, our finite amount of energy to make things cold, when in 100 billion years, everything will be cold. It hurts me to think about these things.
I mean,
I'm so upset that this lady poured her Boost into a glass.
You're a little bit extra. That's a little bit. It's a little bit of a waste of energy.
I get mad over. So I'm not like
I know you're not really mad.
mad.
You're just like,
It just really it makes my mind think. I'm like, what are we even doing?
yeah.
That's how I know. So we'll say, assuming I'm not religious, which I don't want to say if I am or not. Assuming I am, that's how I know that God's just up there going, "Yep, all right, nope, I'm done." Like, hold on, wait. First off, you put this one-time use liquid, or this liquid you're going to drink into a one-time use bottle that's not reusable or recyclable in any way, you know, you're an atrocious species, but I guess I love you. I'll look over that. And then I feel like an angel comes up and whispers in your ears, like, actually, they didn't even drink it out of the bottle. They poured it into a glass. And he goes, what the fuck? What is this?
I feel like
Plagues!
you're a little bit extra.
He's just like, nope, I'm done. I'm done. Somebody, get me an asteroid from 100 light years away.
Let's
hit this
not
planet.
Let's not assume.
Let's start from scratch. Start it over.
Shut up.
Like, oh my god.
You're so much too extra.
I'm going to put natural resources on this planet so that they can use it. And I'm going to make everything renewable. It's going to be great. And then it's like, yeah, they find a way to make things not reusable. Wow, that's annoying.
That's very not correct.
He's just up there like, well, it's a big planet. It'll take them a long time, I guess. They'll figure something out. Yeah, actually, they're not only not using those, but they're wasting other things. Like they're pouring it into a glass bottle, into a glass drink, and then drinking out of the glass. All right, I'm done.
You were talking about South Park being extra. You right now.
Look, South Park takes it far, man. I don't feel like I take it that far. I'm not saying that God's giving up on us because of our blatant disrespect for everything.
It's so funny. It seems like you just said that.
What? Moi?
What's next?
I want to talk about this, and this might be racially insensitive.
Oh,
it's,
no!
It's just something I've noticed, and after eating at some of these establishments, I kind of
Oh my
understand
god,
why.
what are you gonna say?
So, as Americans, we bastardize other cultures.
I am not associated with this.
When it comes to food, while I would say that we...
Mexican food, like Taco Bell, isn't
Right.
actually Mexican food.
Right.
Okay.
We...
Chinese food ain't really it.
Right, we take these other cultures and we kind of
Americanize them?
abominize them, I guess.
Americanize?
Out there. Yeah, that's true.
Abominize them. What is that word?
Anyway, so we make it our own, right? But then we have the audacity of calling it the same thing, and so it's a habit that I'm trying to break now. Or if I am talking
Tex-Mex
about,
is accurately
I'll call it Tex-Mex because that's a different style than say Mexican, like authentic Mexican. And
Well, see, that's what it is. Authentic Mexican is like it's supposed to be authentic,
right,
you know?
but that's
but just Mexican is American Mexican.
right. No, the title Mexican should be reserved for authentic Mexican because it's
Okay.
actually Mexican.
Well, my offer to you would be tell me what the word for like Taco Bell would be instead of Mexican.
So I wouldn't even say that Taco Bell is Tex-Mex. I would say that it is pseudo Tex-Mex. It's like not even good enough to be Tex-Mex.
So then, like, you wouldn't say you want to grab Mexican. You'd say I want to grab pseudo-American Mexican food.
I would just say Taco Bell at that point because
That's my point. Is like,
in fact, Taco Bell's its own
so then, like,
category.
fuck Chipotle, fuck all other Mexican.
No. I feel like
you know?
Chipotle is more Tex-Mex and like Moe's is more Tex-Mex than Taco Bell is.
Well, sure, but like, what's the scale? You need just like a generic
So that's
name.
there we go. The scale is Taco Bell's on the
and it's
far
all
right
just
side.
generically Mexican.
And then it gets more and more authentic to where Tex-Mex is then in the middle.
Sure.
And then it gets all the way to
authentic Mexican, which
That
is what it
should
should
be-
be named.
No, that should be called Mexican. This should be called Taco Bell. And then the middle should be called Tex-Mex.
I don't know if I agree.
We're getting off...
Are we? It's almost
Americans-
like we always do that.
we'll take this culture and we'll make it our own.
We're getting off topic.
We're abominizing it.
Abominize.
I've noticed in all of the Asian restaurants that I've eaten in, like locally, we'll say,
Okay.
that I have never really noticed any Asian customers eating there ever. And I want to know why.
Well, I mean, I'll put it to you this way, just to parallel with the Mexican that we were talking about.
Well, I mean, I'll see Hispanic people eating at a Tex-Mex restaurant, but I won't see Asian people eating at a
Well, I'll tell
American
you this.
Asian restaurant.
We had a couple of foreign exchange students directly from Mexico. They came over to Louisiana. They were at our school. And one of them, a really sweet girl, I love her, Paula. And she said that her host family took her to Taco Bell just to see her reaction. And she, like, they told her, obviously.
I think
It's
they
like, you know,
told me
like a
about this.
Louisiana Taco Bell. And she went and she was like, "Yep, it's pretty garbage." She's
Yeah.
like, "This is nothing."
Well, see, that's like the same thing if you compare like Southern Classic to like KFC.
Right.
Like those are so similar that you.
So would you
think.
not call them like would you not, obviously I'm just saying like Mexican with air quotes, like would you not call them a chicken joint? Like
I would call them a chicken joint because obviously they sell chicken, but Southern Classic is a Southern style chicken joint,
and
whereas
KFC
I feel
ain't.
like KFC tries to be, and it's
So then what's the word? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a generic word.
Right.
It's just a generic naming factor.
I want to know why
We have tangented again.
I will see multiple cultures eating in an establishment that is pseudo-American, like a Tex-Mex place.
Yeah.
But I won't see people of Asian descent eating in a pseudo-Asian. Like, are they getting
Well, I'll-
actual Asian food at some other restaurants that
Well,
I
I'll
would
tell you
love to know
this:
about?
if you go somewhere and like you go to like I don't know, maybe Alabama or like even California, let's say, and they have like a Creole Cajun restaurant, I will not step foot in that because it's not real and it's not going to taste good, and I don't want to try it because I know what it really tastes like at home.
But what if it is good? Like, Tex-Mex is different than Mexican, but
I'd
Tex-Mex is
rather
really
get
good.
I'd rather get the local like other stuff that's there, and then come home and grab all my good Cajun Creole that I know is amazing. You know.
But what if it's still good? Like I'm saying, like Tex-Mex is good, authentic Mexican is good. But if I had that same mentality, if I was a Hispanic person and I was refusing to go to a Tex-Mex place because of that same thing, I'm like, no, they call it Mexican. I know it's fake Mexican. I'm not going to eat there. I'm missing out on a wonderful experience. What if that's not real Cajun? What if it's Tex Cajun, we'll say? Or Tex Cage.
Tex Cajun, well, that's a different,
No, like-
it's not pretending to be something. Like, it's not pretending to be authentic Cajun. It's
I
just,
feel like Tex-Mex is kind of pretending to be authentic, though.
you think so? That's why they call it Tex-Mex?
I mean, obviously, I think enough people, I don't want to say get up in arms, but enough people are like, yeah, this is different, this is dumb, this is a different style of food
Yeah, so they
altogether.
named it different.
So I want to know where are the authentic, like, Asian restaurants, because I would love to try the various different things. And at these restaurants, they have a few items that I feel like are more authentic than others.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's lacking, I guess, in authentic culture. And I would love to be able to experience their culture without having to spend the money.
I'll put it to you this way: you have
So
to
you're
look
actually
for
just-
like actual like locations to be at. Like, no one really is gonna actually migrate a lot of authentic Japanese or Thai or Chinese food here because the market's just not that good for it. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to somewhere where the market is great for it, like I don't know, like a big city or like I'd just say like California or like a New York. There's gonna be like actual like ramen shops on the side of the street, so you can go and stop at and actually get some like nice authentic ass ramen. And also, there's gonna
Well,
be the
see-
cheap order in takeout
Right.
Chinese food or
We went
or like
last time we went to
Japanese
Dallas.
sushi.
We had Koryogabi, which is Korean,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a very expensive place for what we get. And I like it; it's good. It's got a variety of things, and I think.
But can you tell that it's Americanized?
I don't know if it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you
I
can
don't know if
compare.
it is or not. I'm just not experienced enough. It doesn't seem as it is, because there's a lot of exotic spices. And
So is
flavors
that
and
what bothers
textures.
you, that you don't know if it's authentic or not?
Well, I know that like local Chinese restaurants, we'll
Yeah.
say Chinese, even though that's probably not even accurate at all.
Right.
They're probably not. What I've heard is that they're not authentic at all.
Right, and you hear that from actual people who are in
Right.
that culture. That's what I'm saying about me, like about us and going to eat at a Cajun
so
restaurant. Is
the
like you
thing
have to
is-
have the know-how, or like ask someone who does know.
I feel like the reason that Cajun food is so good is because it's so like soulful.
It's just in our heritage, like it's just
Right.
literally.
Well, I feel like it's like spread, especially all along the East Coast. That I feel like that's just been
Do you think so?
ingrained, and I feel like also because the South in air
The East
quotes.
Coast?
Yeah, I feel like the South really is kind of like more of the lower half of the East Coast and down, like all the way over to
I'll put it to you
Texas.
this way: North Louisiana cooks differently than South Louisiana, even. So I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
that's because North Louisiana is like a weird bastard of multiple different cultures, and I feel like South Louisiana is more French Creole.
I mean, I understand, but also it's not.
What kind of time are we looking at here?
We are at 1:15.
Okay, I want to talk about one more thing. 2 more things.
Okay.
Just so I can get all these things off my list.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So we will just, I guess, end with what? Like we can't.
I would like to try. I would like to experience different
Authentic,
cultures,
yeah,
like
Thai
authentic,
or
without having to spend the money to actually go there because I don't have it.
Well, then that's
Hey.
a shame, dude. You should open up a restaurant to
Oh,
fulfill
I
your
would,
needs.
I would love to.
Hashtag
That's
capitalism.
one thing I really like about the snack crate. So some of our guys do a snack crate.
Yeah, really?
It's like authentic snacks that come in, and
Grant.
some of them are selling,
Grant
and
does it?
some of them.
Grant. It's
I
Grant.
think so. It's
I know it's
multiple
Grant.
people. Like, I know that Alex is in charge of, or not necessarily in charge of it, but he's a part of it too.
Oh, cool.
And Perez, who we had on the podcast before.
Right. Cool.
So they do it, and it's really fun and interesting to see. And every now and then, if they have leftovers or whatever, or they're like, "Hey, just come
Dabble.
try this
Yeah,
thing." You know,
yeah.
I don't actually eat the snacks, but I'll try some. Or I'll try this or that or whatever. Nothing has been super memorable. But obviously, I probably don't even get to try the best stuff. So
Yeah.
I thought about it today about how funny it would be to have. So I have a Amazon device in my home. You know, I thought about how funny it would be to have a cheaper version of that. Because right now, if you're just like, we'll say Allegra, right? Cause
No, that's no, we can't.
Allegra.
No, we can't. That's an
Oh wait,
actual
that's
name.
yeah.
You could say instead of so it's a Alexa, right?
Oh, triggered.
That's what it really.
Ding.
Is that really it?
Yeah, Alexa.
Okay, so you can say the other one should be
Allie.
Ajax.
That's
No,
an actual name too.
name, yeah.
Stronger than all of Greece. No, anyway, whatever the name is. Right now, if you'll say, "Hey, blah blah, what's the weather?" They'll go, "The weather is currently blah 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 degrees. The high today is going to be 75, and the low is going to be 75."
What a great voice. Yeah.
Right. Expect intermittent showers randomly in this and this area.
Intermittent.
Maybe some gusty winds if it's
Right.
feeling up to it. Possible tornado warning at the end of the day because you're in
Ooh.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I have to spend like 15 minutes listening to this weather report, which I asked for it and it's great. But
And it's great.
I wonder if there's a cheaper version available, just like blah blah blah. What's the weather today? It's cold. Thanks.
I'm sure you could probably just say, give me a summary or maybe concisely tell me.
I just imagine trying to talk to this device and be like, can you Google Henry Wadsworth Longfellow?
I could.
Tell me, tell me, what did his third child say about him once he was written for his second book or something? I don't know. It's just-
I have no fucking clue.
right now, you'll be like, yeah, when does the third season of, or I guess, when does the third season of Westworld come out? And it's like, the third
ready.
season of Westworld is slated to return on October 17th,
Yeah.
2078.
Oh God!
I don't know if
Oh
that's what the
no!
actual thing is.
Please.
But I just think it'd be really funny to be like, when does the third season of Westworld come out? I don't know.
Oh no, dude! Google it.
Yeah,
Damn.
just, I really want one of those sponsors to be like, you got a phone, don't you?
Just Google it. Shit.
What do you think I am, Google? You didn't pay for this.
That's funny. I enjoy that.
Hey,
know.
what's this?
I just imagine
What's the weather outside? It's cold.
I just imagine it to have like a slower voice too. You know, to be like, it's cold.
Yeah.
You know, just like it's kind of cold. Yeah.
I really want it to be somewhat aggressive and just be like,
It's
It's
cold.
cold.
Like just angry.
right. It's like,
Like it reminds me of like a I want to say an angry Australian accent. Like, you know,
so racist.
how?
Why is Australian?
Just I don't know. That's what I
For-
imagine.
for
Because I
all
feel
of
like
our
whenever I hear an
Australian
angry
listeners,
Australian accent,
I'm so
oh
sorry.
yeah, all of
I
our
am so
Australian
sorry.
listeners.
We know
Maybe
that
one
this-
day.
We know that the sound of our voice is coming to you upside down.
Oh, I will not like attempt an Australian accent, but I feel like every time that I hear one, it's a good upbeat, person. But then like you hear an angry Australian accent, it's just vicious. Like I feel like
Yeah.
you would literally
You had to have done something horrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's possible.
Like, dude, just imagine Ali talking in an angry Australian accent. One reason why I say that is because I say my brother, but he's really just my best friend.
He's my brother.
John has
Goody?
his accent for Siri is Australian, and every time he talks to her, and he talks to her all the
Oh
time,
my god, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go make
it's
my
quite
Australian.
nice. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that's amazing. No, yeah, I just think it'd be funny to be like, what's the weather outside? It's cold? Or it's like, what's the weather outside? Go check yourself.
Like,
You
just stick a foot out the window.
like, really, what I do every morning is I'll ask for a weather update every morning just
Yeah.
because right now...
You know whether you want to wear like shorts or
Right,
like
well,
shorts.
so I'm wearing shorts every day. But if I need to wear a jacket or something,
Right.
oh man, I'd be in shorts and sandals in 20-degree weather. You know.
Same. Yeah.
Because I don't plan on spending that long outside.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
really, I just want to know. Whoa, Josh is putting his leg up on the chair.
I'm wearing shorts.
Hello there. No. I really just want to know if I need to wear a jacket. So if it's like, ding, it's 40 degrees outside. I'm like, okay, yeah,
Your voice is so bougie.
I've got to wear a jacket. But if it's like 55 or above, or really 50 or above,
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
yeah, I'm not wearing a jacket.
You're not worried about it.
But I get this really long, report on what the weather's going to be all day.
Yeah, how
all
dare
week.
you? That
And it's
piece
like-
of shit device, dude.
It's like a first world problem, It's like,
How awful is
oh,
that?
speaking of first world problems, Wendy talked to me today and she's like, yeah, I got a first world problem, and somebody else did too. And I was like, okay, what? She's like, well, if you integrate your iPhone with Bluetooth into your car, it'll just automatically start playing whatever the first thing on your iTunes list is.
Oh, I set mine differently.
And she's like, somebody came up with a song. It's 10 minutes long, and it's called A. Very good song. And it's just a 10-minute track of there's no audio. And she's like, so every time you get in your car, it'll play first, but
Yeah.
nothing actually plays.
Yeah.
She's like, that's just such a first world problem.
Yeah, that's
And
the most downloaded song.
it's like, it's a 99-cent song that guy got famous off of literally nothing.
That's hilarious.
Or Rich. And she was reading his story or whatever, and he was like, the first thing, or the reason that I came up with this is because I contacted, I think you said like Vampire Weekend or
Right.
whoever that had a song that started with A and then like A host or whatever it was, I can't remember the name, and that it would play every time he got into a song, and so that he wrote them to ask them to change the name of their song so that it wouldn't play first. But that guy's dumb. When I say he's dumb, he's probably made millions off of literally
Yeah,
a
he
blank
seems like a
audio.
really clever guy.
So it's dumb because, yeah, that's great that if they do change their song name, which they're not gonna, because who cares about you, you're just gonna have another song replace it as the first song that's played
Yeah.
every single time. So you're gonna have
Doesn't solve
to
the problem, yeah.
right. And also, why are they changing a song for just one person?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to talk about that. The next thing I want to talk about, actually, I think this will be our last topic because we're kind of running a little long here.
Okay.
And also, my list is gone. You're welcome, world.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah.
I saw on the news today that a woman snuck it. She climbed the barrier into a panther thing and was trying to take a selfie and got mauled. She's okay, unfortunately. She's alive.
She's still allowed to procreate.
I wonder. I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, honestly, she's gonna raise kids that are even
Maybe.
dumber than her, probably. I wonder how long it's gonna take for activists to call for us to go shoot that panther like we did Harambe and that kid.
Well, I actually
So the kid crawls into his home
Of
and then we
course.
shoot him. Like,
of course.
rest in peace, Harambe.
Did you
beautiful
see how
bastard.
forcefully he dragged that kid across?
He's a
No, no, I agree, 100%. Like, that's the mama's fault, the mama sucks. Maybe.
Oh, I'm not. I don't even want to say that because
Yeah, no.
That's what
Kids
I'm saying.
are
Let me correct
stupid.
myself. Kids,
it's a bad situation all around.
let me correct myself.
It's
What
very
hang
unfortunate.
on.
God dang it!
What I'm
Right.
saying is, these
Tore up about it.
kids are so elusive. You don't even
Right? No,
understand.
I get that.
And so it's not the mama, but also, who else do you blame? You don't blame the gorilla, and the kid's a kid. So,
Why? Why can't all of these things exist? Yeah, why can't all these things share blame equally?
You
You, who always wants to make blame, you're saying this to me right now.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I
Look, if a kid runs out in front of a car
Yeah.
when his mom is screaming to stop, who's at fault here?
Nobody.
The kid is, obviously, but he's too stupid, so we can't really put the fault on him. The parents doing their best. The person driving the car is probably not trying to.
In Louisiana, the fault would be on the person driving the car. Did you know that?
Yeah, which is it's total
I think
BS.
it's amazing.
I think there are just bad, shitty things that happen in life, and
Yeah.
it's really unfortunate when it happens. Anyway, this beautiful, magnificent creature, this killing machine, designed by nature to be deadly,
Right.
is locked in a cage for hundreds of people a day to come and
Right.
stare at it, and it can literally do nothing.
And the zoo should sue her and should also like
Oh, I think no one should have done anything. I think so. What happens?
Just let her
Look,
stand
look,
there.
What happens? She climbs this barrier that's clearly, marked "Keep out." This is meant for your protection, and you're too stupid to know it.
Yeah, I'd
To
sue
get-
her for endangering the animal.
Right, to get the perfect selfie or whatever. Not only does now someone have to go in after her to save her life,
To risk their lives.
so they're risking now their life for this moron. But this is an animal literally designed by nature to kill things and to maul them. Why are you climbing? All right, so my thing is, if we leave her there, it's a win-win. We get rid of an idiot. The zoo saves money on food. There's literally no downside here.
The loss of a human life is
No.
a huge downside.
Who
Wes.
cares? If you are going to climb this barrier into one of the world's most dangerous predators...
So what is the precedent that you're setting, that idiots deserve to die?
Well, yeah.
Did you just hear yourself?
Yeah.
Come on,
And
you
if
can't.
and I want to be... I'm going to Thanos it here. If it happens to be me and I'm the idiot, then so be it. Society is better.
That's ridiculous.
Lay down my life for the betterment of society.
No, because then who judges what's an idiot?
Soci-
There are instances, yes, that are everyone knows that
Who
this bitch
judges-
is an idiot, right?
who judges...
Everyone knows that she's an idiot. But what I'm saying is, there's no actual judicial way to judge that shit.
Yeah, no. We'll let nature decide.
Oh my god.
And if nature decides that particular panther is hungry that day, then God bless it, because it just got a free meal. We lose a moron.
Because once they get the taste of human flesh, where does it stop?
It's in a cage.
Once they get, what if it breaks out?
It's probably not smart enough, otherwise it would have done it already.
I don't think.
Which is the exact opposite of this woman. She's probably not smart enough.
No.
People haven't broken into that cage because they're smart enough to know not to until this woman comes along.
Of course, no, I agree.
She's not smart enough to know.
I agree wholeheartedly.
This is so frustrating.
I'm glad that you saw that too.
God dang it. Okay.
Yeah.
Josh just pointed this out to me. So, I have a Nintendo Switch. I've got the case here on the desk.
of
And this will be our last thing, I swear. The zippers for the case are little Switch Joy-Cons.
Yep.
They are in the wrong order.
Yes.
The right one is the left Joy-Con. The left zipper is the right Joy-Con.
Yeah, it really.
I'm gonna have to fix this. And with that, we thank you for listening to our absurdism.
Enjoy.
Please stay tuned, and we love you all.
Subscribe and like and whatever you want to do.
Yeah, or don't.
Goodbye. Wait! What did we just say?
We'll just say 5 minutes looking at the Switch case. We reopened the podcast recording.
I promise no one's listening, by the way.
They're reversible, so.
So, I just saw it the wrong way. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really fucked. And I zipped it. You probably heard
Right.
that. And then Wes is like, oh, yeah, they are fucked. But they're not, because we're just both idiots. And they're reversible.
If this was a cage with a dangerous animal, we would both be eaten.
we would have been Thanos in a second.
And I'm totally okay with it because it's better for society.
My bitch ass ain't. I like to live.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank y'all.
We're not coming back after this until next week.
Maybe.
Whoa. Hey.